So today I'm going to make a video which I didn't think I would make, but I felt like after yesterday's video and seeing the negative comments about me in the video yesterday, I felt like it was only fair for me to respond to them negative comments and the amount of people that was coming from my head. Now, after reading a lot of the comments in yesterday's video, I thought, hold on here, let's put some respect back on the JKR investing channel here. Let's not forget how successful in the last 2 years this channel has been. Let's put some respect back on here, because sure, in the last kind of few months, and this will always happen, there's always going to be people that are negative towards you. It's the internet, it's the modern day internet, there's keyboard warriors out there. There's always going to be people that are coming for you, no matter what's going on. But in particular, what has happened in the last few months? Well, we've had a stock market that has done very well in the last two years, and in the last few months, in the last kind of 6 to 12 months, we've entered a bear market territory. And generally, the negativity out there is a lot more, and maybe people are frustrated, maybe people need someone to blame, someone that's maybe invested in the same stock as them, maybe someone that heard about this stock that they're invested in from me, even though you say do your own research. Maybe the people just need someone to blame, really. But I was like, hold on here, the amount of negativity out there, I was like, let's just put some respect back on the JKR investing channel. Let's not forget what has happened here in the last 2 years, and I wanted to make a video talking about this today. Now, I know that I am putting myself in a place where I basically put all my picks out there, I put my portfolio out there, I am open to criticism. It's not an easy place to be. We're not a YouTube channel here that goes, oh, which is the best stock market broker to be using, or how do you pay tax on your stocks? Here, I'm actually showing you my research, my opinions on what stocks I think will do well, and it's all out here on the record. All my videos here stay on the channel, and I am open to criticism forever. As soon as I mention a stock on this channel, it's open for criticism. And you know what? This channel is built on transparency. I know at the end of the day that I'm going to pick some stocks, and some of my stocks won't be good stocks. I know that I'm going to be picking some stocks, and hopefully a lot of them do well. But I know realistically, 1 or 2 of my stocks will not do well. That is part of investing. You're not going to hit the home runs 100% of the time. And I am all for free speech. And if I pick a stock and someone is not agreeing with me on that stock, I have no problem if someone puts in the comment section saying, I don't agree with this pick because so-and-so and so-and-so. Fair enough. That's your opinion. And you know what? There's a chance you could be right. There is going to be a stock that I get wrong. However, what I have a problem with is when, especially yesterday, someone comes into a comment section and maybe they've not been around in the channel for a long time and then start criticizing you as an investor. I was like, hold on here, let's just put respect on the performance of the last 2 years on this channel. This channel has been built on transparency where I talk about every single stock that I own. I mention when I've bought a stock, which stocks I'm buying. I talk about every single stock that I sell. There's no stocks that I sell out sneakily in the background. Everything is transparent, and I give this all to you, and it's a open channel. And yesterday I was a bit angry, really, to see criticism of me as an investor. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to hit home runs 100% of the time. But what I am going to do is more than likely have a lot more success than failures. And that's what is the key thing. And like I said, I know in particular that when I'm in a bull market and stocks are going up, I am going to be the best thing since sliced bread. I know that when stocks are going down, I am going to get a lot more heavy criticism. Whatever direction the market is moving in, I know that's what the more sentiment in the comment section will be. I've been through loads of time. I am 100% aware of that. Like I said, I wanted to just put a bit more respect out there and not forget what has happened recently. And one of the most frustrating things about YouTube is that even though I am a long-term investor, without doubt I'll have people in the comment section that will be judging stock picks off short-term performance. I've seen it multiple times. I've been buying certain stocks. Within the first 6 months, that stock may go down, and I will receive criticism because that stock's down in the first 6 months, and it's like, okay, but yeah, I'm not investing for the first 6 months. I'm investing where that company is going to be in the next few years. That's one of the most frustrating things of YouTube, is that whatever stock I do pick, I will be judged on that stock performance in the short term, even though I'm a longer term investor. Unfortunately, it's part of the game, and especially, like I said, when we're in a bull run, obviously when you're picking a lot of stocks, them stocks will instantly go up. If you're buying stocks for the long term in the bear market, they'll more than likely go down. But what we don't really have is people don't really judge the performance over the long term. And I thought, you know what? Let's just go back the last 2 years. The last time we've been through a bull market, which is where you'll see a lot of your investments work out. And I thought, okay, let's just go for my record in the last 2 years. And what I did here is I wrote down a list of, not all of them, most of the stocks I can remember that I've sold for profit in the last 2 years. It is pretty good. It is pretty good. I mean, this is a list of some of the stocks that I can remember. I couldn't remember them all. And if you have any problems with that, every single stock that is on here, there's been a video made about it when I bought it and when I sold it. So there is a record of this down here. And some of these gains have been absolutely fantastic. Pinterest, 300% return. JD.com, 300% return. Microsoft, 200%. Greg's, I mean, you know, let's talk about being the Greg's channel. I mean, when we're buying this stock, I mean, all this stock here, you know, Pinterest, we went down when we bought it, and look at that gain. Microsoft, Greg's, you know, I got massive criticism for Greg's. Like, I bought Greg's and people saying, oh, you know, no, Greg's is unpopular, it's unhealthy, people moving away from it. Loads of criticism. I mean, well, I was down 30% on Greg's, and look at the return that we made. Once again, stock that I committed onto in the long term, look how it worked out. Jet2, National Express, Revolve, GWPH, Tesla, GNOG, unbelievable track record. Let's not forget, it's a bloody good record that I have in the last 2 years making this YouTube channel. The amount of stock returns that I have had and the amount of stocks that I've sold at massive amounts of profit, you know, let's not forget that. Let's put some respect on that. That's pretty good going. What do you have here? One stock at a loss, Cineworld, 40%. Would I take this record with this one loss in the last 2 years? 100%. That is fantastic performance. And in fact, my next point is this. My performance in the last 2 years has been unbelievably good. It's that good that I am very much aware that in the next let's go for the next 2 years. You know, this is my record in the last 2 years. Let's go for the next 2 years. I know my record isn't going to be this good again. My record, I went through probably one of the best patches of my investing history. My record was really good. I know I'm not going to keep this up. I know that in the next 2 years, I'm not going to be able to hit this many home runs and just the one loss. It's too good to keep up. I know in the next coming few years that, you know what, potentially I hit, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9 good hits, and I'm probably going to hit more bad hits. I'm probably going to have a few more of these. It's going to happen. I am fine with that. As long as I keep having a good, you know, 8, 9 picks going in the right direction, I'm going to be okay with that. And especially if I can get one stock to really hit off and get into, you know, the multi-bagger, I'm going to do very well. So let's not forget about the track record here, and let's not forget that I'm probably not going to keep up the performance I have had recently. Next thing, where was the negativity a few months ago? It didn't exist. You know, this is the thing. At the moment, you've got to be really careful out there. There's, you know, whatever you go onto, YouTube comments, Yahoo Finance, there's so much negativity out there. What happened a few months ago? There wasn't the negativity. When stock's going up, everyone's bullish, everyone's buying the dip. And when we go down in a negative fashion, everyone goes negative on the stock market. And as a long-term investor, if you really do need to make money, you don't need to concentrate on what other people are saying. You don't concentrate on the noise. You don't concentrate on the noise of what people are saying and what's going on out there. All you focus on is your company financials. Like I said previously, and this comes from my next point, which is rewards from buying the dips. All these stocks, at some point, I had some sort of pressure on going, oh, that's a terrible company. You don't know what you're doing. GWPH, which is that one there. This one in particular, I had a YouTube video of just negative comments going, oh, this stock's down 30%. This is why you don't listen to stock market YouTubers. What happened 2 years later? 100% return. That is why you make a concentration on the financials and what the company's doing, not listen to the noise. And this is the thing, sooner rather than later, the market will flip from negativity that it's in, and a lot of these stocks that I currently have at the moment will once again do really good returns. And you'll notice overnight, people that are so negative will disappear from the scene. That's what will happen. There's so many people out there, a lot of investors that react or are emotional off what the share prices are doing rather than what the stocks. I've seen so many stocks that were hailed as amazing businesses, amazing stocks to own, and now because the stock price is down, suddenly they're terrible. I saw Amazon last night, a stock that I don't own. Amazon's a fantastic company. In the next 5 years, Amazon's going to be absolutely, you know, mega. You're still going to carry on profit, still going to carry on revenue. You go on any Yahoo Finance, any Seeking Alpha article, what after the earnings, so much negativity. Oh, the CEO doesn't know what they're doing. Oh, it's, you know, Amazon's a dying business. There weren't that negativity a few months ago on Amazon. And I'll tell you what, a business like Amazon, there won't be that negativity in a few years when that share price starts recovering and going up. Because that company's still going to bring in major revenue and profit. And that's what you've got to ignore, a lot of the noise out there. The next thing is, you can't know where the crash is coming. You don't know when the stock market's going to crash. At no point, there's a lot of people out here saying, oh, I told you this was going to happen, this was going to happen. They didn't. They didn't know this was going to happen. They didn't know inflation was going to skyrocket. They didn't know that Russia was going to invade into Ukraine. They didn't know shipping from China would, 10x in the next few months. People don't know all this. People don't know this combination would come together. People didn't know the share price was going to come down to here. There's going to be a lot of people that, question certain stocks, or, oh, you bought this stock and it's down here, or you don't know how to value this company. And there's a lot of people shouting all this stuff out right now, and it's like, you don't know this. We did not know right now we were going to enter a bear market. You don't know it's going to happen. It just happens. It's the same as when we go into a bull run. All these people are giving negative comments about the negativity out there. At some point, the stock market's going to go on a good run. At no point can they give you a date on when this stock market's going to flip and return and go upwards. You just don't know it. Sometimes the stock goes up, sometimes the stock goes down. In the long term, stocks go like that, but in between they go like this, and you don't know when this day is going to happen, and you don't know when this day is going to happen. You just don't. And I see a lot of people criticizing, certain valuations at the moment, and this is why you need to value this stock and this stock, and you do need to have some valuation, but there's no concrete ceiling of when this is going to happen, what stock is a good value, what stock is a bad value. You've just got to buy when you think a stock is a good value. And unfortunately, sometimes you can buy a stock what you think is a good value, and it will go lower sometimes. But the key thing is where it goes in the long term. And that leads me to the next point, which is value investors. There's a lot of value investors piping up in the last few months. They've been a bit quiet the last 2 years because their stocks have performed okay, but they're being massively outperformed. And suddenly they're all piping up going, this is why you got this valuation, or this is why you got to do this DCF, and this is where the value comes out, and this is where you buy. And I'll tell you something here for what the value investors won't tell you. A lot of these value investors that think they have the magic formula of working out what stocks are going to come to which price and what stocks to buy at a certain price. And I'll tell you something, a lot of the value investors at the moment, and I would class myself as a dividend, growth and value investor. I try to cover all three. A lot of these value investors, and I won't name certain people, but there's certain people out there, and a lot of them would say, if Alibaba gets to this sort of valuation, I'll buy it. And for a lot of them, that stock was at, probably $200. What's happened to Alibaba since? It went from $320 to $200. $200 is a buy. My DCF says that if I buy it at $200, it'll be a good buy, I'll get a good return for the next few years. What happened? It went to 180. What happened next? It went to 140. What happened next? It went down to 120. What happened next? It went down to $100. 50% down from where the DCF said it was a good value to buy. What happened next? It went down to $80. A lot of value investors won't tell you that. A lot of value investors will say this is why you got to buy stocks at reasonable values, and they can say that this is where this is going to be a good buy, potentially a good buy to buy. And I'm just using this one as an example. There's plenty more out there. Well, that's where you buy a stock. Just proves you. There's no magic formula. There's no magic formula which says that this is where this stock is a buy. Nowhere. Otherwise, we'd all buy at the same time and we'd all sell at the same time. This magic formula, everyone would be using it. It doesn't happen. Even value players that say, now this is a good valuation. One of the most popular value stocks out there, Alibaba. Everyone said it was buy at 200. Lost 50% of its value. Lost even more than that. And that's exactly what is going on right now. There's going to be times where, unfortunately, stocks just go down. They just go down and you don't know where the bottom is. No one knows where the bottom is on Alibaba. None of the value investors do. They'll try to tell you they know where the bottom is. They'll try to tell you where a good value is. But you don't know. And that's the same for plenty of stocks out there. Not just value stocks, growth stocks. Growth stocks can come to a good valuation. Alibaba at $200 might look a good valuation. You might make a good return off it. Might go down to $80. Same for growth stocks. You might have a growth stock that's $20, and you think, okay, at 15 it's good value, goes to 15, and it probably might be good value, but you don't know where the bottom is. It might go down to 10. It might go down to 5. If the sell-off on the market is aggressive, and is a massive sell-off, massive amounts of negativity out there, it can keep going down. So that's one of the big things I've got to say about a lot of value investors out here at the moment, especially value investors that criticise a lot of growth stocks at the moment, which a lot of growth stocks are incredibly good values. Next question, should I be down right now? 100% I should be down. If I was up right now, there's something really weird going on. At the moment, the Nasdaq is down 20%. Nasdaq is down 20%, and that's obviously a lot more tech-based, a little bit more growth-based. In the actual Nasdaq, there's a lot of stocks, half the stocks are down 50%, something like that in the Nasdaq right now. There's a lot of stocks down in the Nasdaq. So if I was outperforming the Nasdaq, if I was actually green at the moment, there's something really weird going on. I must be doing something unbelievably right. It's not going to happen. At the moment, I should not be up on stocks. I should be down at least 20%. And the thing is, well, is that I've got some dividend plays, I've got some value plays, I've got a bit more heavy in growth. So in particular with a lot of my growth stocks, especially because they're individual stocks and because I have a few more higher risk stocks, I should be definitely down more than 20% at the moment. So when it comes to should I be down? 100%. A lot of the indexes are down a massive amount. The Nasdaq in particular, which is the one that I like to go off, is down 20%. And when I have stocks, individual stocks, I should be down more than the indexes. So I should be more than 20% down on the Nasdaq, 100%. However, when the Nasdaq goes up, then let's have a look what happens. That's the key thing. So should I be down right now? 100%. We're in a bear market. I should have stocks that are down. If I didn't have stocks that down, there'd be something going wrong right now. Next thing, or the last thing, do I change my style? Should I change to the investor that I am? Well, I look at my record. I look at the stocks that I've been buying and selling. I mean, do I change the record? You tell me. I think it works out pretty well in the long term. Buy, hold for long term, average down if the stocks go lower. If I can, try find stocks that should be valued at £1 that are down at 75p, 50p. And you know what? In the short term, if that goes lower, 30p, 20p, just keep buying. And that's the best way I like to buy stocks. Buy them when people don't want them. When there's fear out there, when there's blood out there, that is the best opportunity to be buying stocks. Look at the best performing stock on this list, Pinterest. 300%. What happened? Peak CV. Half the price of its IPO. Bought it. 300% return. That's what happens. Got to have a little bit of courage to buy the dips, and that's where I get the better returns. So right now, with the bloodbath that the market is in, this is the best time for me to buy in. And I won't change my style until I have a track record that is not successful in the long term. Then I'll maybe reconsider my style. But as you probably see with what I've been posting on buying and selling stocks in the YouTube channel publicly and the transparency of it, everything seems to be going well. And should I be down right now? Yes. But let's talk about when the stock market goes back in a bull market cycle. And if I'm struggling then, maybe that's the time to reevaluate. But not right now. So I just wanted to put that video out there because I think it was justified. I think there was a little bit of respect needed to put out there, especially with the track record as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you in a bit.